Hi, good night, everyone. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe, and I am live to take your immigration questions. So if you're going through the process, you're thinking about going through the process, or even if you've been through the process, you can ask your immigration-related questions right here in the comments box or in the Q&A box. So go ahead and join me and put your questions in the comments. So let me introduce myself. I am U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I help clients to get their green cards and status in the United States. So if you would like to get your status in the United States to live and work here legally, this is something you should do. You should definitely get in touch with me, schedule a consultation to talk about your options. Now, the way you can do that is to go to the link in my bio, and at that link you would be able to get my contact information as well as the contact form. If you don't want to call, you can also fill out the information on the contact form, where a scheduling coordinator will get right back to you. So I usually come with a topic to talk about, and so today I am going to be talking about how to apply for the green card based on mistreatment by these relatives. So if you are being mistreated by your U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident, spouse, parent, or son or daughter, 21 and up, citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up, then you should definitely consider this option. With this option, you're able to stay in the United States as well as apply for a work permit and wait for the green card process to go through. So if you are being mistreated, when I say mistreated, I mean verbally, emotionally, physically. If you're being manipulated, isolated, these are all ways that you may qualify for this form of relief, and so you should definitely get in touch with me, schedule a consultation, and let's confirm whether you qualify. So go ahead and put your questions in the comments as you join me. You can go ahead and use the Q&A option, or you can type your questions in. Today I'm talking about a particular topic, but your questions are my priority. So as soon as your questions start to come in, I will stop talking about my topic to be able to answer your questions. I think it's also important for you to get this information that can help you to seek further assistance about what your options are. So I just mentioned, if you are being mistreated by a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident, spouse or parent, and parent if you're under 25, if you are being mistreated by a U.S. citizen, son or daughter who's 21 and up, then this could be an option for you. Mistreatment, the definition of mistreatment does not have to just include physical harm or the typical form of abuse that we think about. It can be emotional, it can be verbally, it can even be financially. So the next question I usually get is how to prove that. Hi there, the crew's familiar. It's nice to see you here again. Is it normal for an I-130 to take over 1 year to be approved? Unfortunately, yes, it has become the norm. It used to be 6 months to 9 months, and now it is over 1 year. So I'm sorry to tell you that, but yeah, just make sure that if you have an I-130 pending, that you contact the USCIS to make sure that they're not waiting on anything from you, that they haven't issued you a request for evidence that you didn't get by mail. So my green card was denied because my husband has a felony. So what can I do? So in cases where there are criminal issues, now I don't know if your spouse is the petitioner, it may be the nature of the felony. So what you can do is go ahead and schedule a consultation, and then we can talk more about your options, because that is a more complex issue that I would want to delve into further. If a U.S. citizen is filing for unmarried sibling, what's the shortest possible wait time? So right now it's 14 years in the Caribbean. It depends on where the sibling is. So where you are, if you're the immigrant sibling, if you're in the Caribbean, then it's going to be a minimum of 14 years. If in, for example, Mexico, it's taking about over 20 years for those. Now, unless the law changes, unless there's reform, that is what the wait time is right now. But if anything happens, now, I did want to give you some exciting news, by the way. The Department of Homeland Security has just announced that anybody who is applying for the U visa, so this is for victims of crime. Originally, that visa was taking 10 years before they could even get it approved. 5 years to even get a work permit. And now they are saying that they are going to start issuing work permits to pending U visa applications. That is amazing, because that was a major problem with this type of visa. It was that it took so long for victims of crimes to be able to get approved that they would be waiting 10 years. Years just for a work permit. Now they could get it within possible months of applying. They would first have to just submit what's called a U visa certification, and that is something that has to be completed by the police. That is something I work with my clients to get done. Police or prosecutor who can certify that they were indeed a victim of crime and they were helpful in some way to the crime. During the investigation of the crime, they have to do a biometrics appointment and then submit the application. As long as these requirements are met and the application is pending on or after June 14th, they can now get a work permit while they wait for the U visa to be processed, which is amazing news. So let me go back to answering your questions. So Trinidad and Tobago will it affect my B1, B2 visa? It may. I have seen where siblings are being sponsored by siblings, and because it takes so long, it doesn't usually affect the visa. But if an officer really wants to get to the root of your immigrant intent, that they may ask additional questions. My husband is not working, but he's a green card holder in the USA. Can he file for me? He can. Yes, but when it comes on to meeting the income requirements, so he can start to file for you, but at the same time, if he can't show that he's making enough income to support you, then and his household, it depends on the income requirement depends on his household size. He will need a joint sponsor. I had received my SSN last November along with the approval notice for my parole, but not my EAD. So Gummy Board, definitely check with the USCIS to see what's going on with that. Go ahead, keep putting your questions in the comments. I am here to answer your immigration questions. So go ahead. Nick MC28, you're welcome. So another thing, Nick MC28, that I wanted to mention is now is a good time for your spouse to file for you, because there is no wait list for the immigrant visa number. So that basically means that the wait time may be shorter for spouses of green card holders. So if he's going to file, he should make sure first thing, get legal advice. If you would like to make sure you qualify, you're on the right track. Now, Nick MC, another thing, Nick MC28, is that if you are in the United States and you're without status, then you are going to follow a different path. If your spouse is a green card holder, and you definitely want to make sure you're getting legal advice as to what you need to do, because it may be different just depending on where you are. If I'm not divorced but living separately with spouse, how can I renew conditional green card? So great question. So there are 3 ways to do this. Now, if you are not divorced and you don't plan on filing for divorce, then the other 2 options would be based on mistreatment, and oftentimes there is mistreatment or extreme cruelty involved, or your extreme hardship should you have to leave the country and lose your status. Go ahead, this is an area I focus on. So go ahead, schedule a consultation, and I can definitely work with you to get that prepared, because it does involve providing a lot of evidence, because you also, in addition to showing the extreme cruelty or or even if you plan to file for divorce and you filed the divorce, you still have to show that it was a bona fide marriage, even though you're filing without the spouse. Is it better for a U.S. citizen to file an unmarried son rather than the sibling of a U.S. citizen? So yes, it would be faster. Right now it's taking 6 to 7 years for a U.S. citizen to file for an unmarried son who is over 21. If you're under 21, it could take as little as 18 months. Sally Ann Butcher, I'm glad that I was helpful. That is exactly why I'm here. So thank you for saying that. Any updates on Biden's immigration plan for people who are without status in the United States? So NALS, right now it looks like they are making internal changes, going ahead and making positive changes. And so something may be coming down the pipeline soon. They have legislation before Congress, and I believe I did read in the news that they are working on trying to now push this agenda to get some sort of legislation forward. There has been a great change. It may not be something for all undocumented individuals, but it's definitely a good sign that they are serious about making these positive changes, because there was the U visa for victims of crime, which does involve a lot of undocumented individuals, and they were on a 10-year wait list. Some of them couldn't even get their work permit in that time. Well, now they have went ahead and said, as long as you submit the application and on a preliminary review, you meet the requirements, you can get a work permit much sooner than years. It could be months. So that is great news. Hey, for U visa, they are giving work permit. Can they also travel? So for the U visa, there is what's called the advanced parole that may permit you to travel, but you would have to apply for that separately. How much would it cost in general for assistance with H-2B application? So Rush OS, it depends on what the situation is. I don't give quotes. The first thing I do is schedule a consultation, and I evaluate your case. I give you legal advice, and then should you determine that you would like to retain me, I can give you an accurate quote. User 199, I am in Boca Raton, Florida. However, I represent clients all over the country and all over the globe, because as an immigration attorney, I have to work with USCIS offices and embassies all over. So Jeff Myers, thanks for the follow. How long are I-130s taking? They're taking a little over a year right now. Is the Jamaican embassy open now? So I know that they are open for certain types of immigrant visas. However, in regards to how they are functioning with all the different types of visas and tasks that they have to do, I don't know. What you can do, though, is go to the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, Jamaica. Go to their website, and they will provide you the information you need as to the visa that you're interested in. So that is the best way, because of the COVID situation, so many embassies are functioning differently in different countries just based on the severity of the COVID situation. So definitely go to their website and see if they are providing updates as to what they're doing with visas. You're welcome, Belly. So keep your questions coming. I'm here to answer your immigration questions. So I was talking about how to apply for the green card based on mistreatment. So what is the next case draw? And she know, I'm not sure. Can you rephrase your question or elaborate a little bit more so I can understand what your question is referring to? So keep your questions coming. I'm here to answer your immigration questions. So far, all of these have been great questions. I am here every day. And so if you don't have a question today, but you know you'll have a question in the future, what you can do is go ahead, follow me. And as soon as you get notice that I am live, you can hop on and start asking your questions. So she knew Canadian Express entry draw. So I am a U.S. immigration attorney, so I only deal with U.S. immigration matters and not Canadian. So you'd have to find a Canadian immigration attorney. So keep those questions coming. I'm here to answer your questions. So I come with a topic to talk about, and that topic that I'm going to talk about today is applying for the green card based on mistreatment. So I had mentioned who those relatives, so if you're being mistreated by certain relatives, U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident spouse, if you're being mistreated by, if you're under 25 and you're being mistreated by a U.S. citizen or resident parent, or you're being mistreated by a U.S. citizen, adult child who's 21 and up, even if they started giving you problems from they were under 18, this could be a path to the permanent residence. And it could be a way for you to fix your immigration status by you could stay in the United States, adjust status under this application, apply on your own without your relative, and it's not a type of application where they have to sign on with you. That's the benefit of it, is that you would be able to apply without dealing with their possible sabotaging of your application. So you don't have to involve them. They don't even have to know about your application because it is also extremely confidential. It's there to protect you, especially as the victim of abuse or mistreatment. So go ahead, keep your questions coming while I'm here. Why not take advantage of a U.S. immigration attorney being here to answer your questions? Hi there, my friend came from Guangzhou June 8th, 2019 after many business trips prior to retirement. Okay. And then I'm assuming Raider Wanzhou that you have more follow-up question to that. So I'm going to look out for that follow-up question. So go ahead and put those questions in. I'm here every single day, and so I'm here with very few exceptions every day. So if you don't have a question today, but you know you'll have one later on, just go ahead, follow me. And as soon as I go live, you can put your questions in the comments. So when you are applying for this, you can also include your children. So if you're applying for this green card based on mistreatment by certain qualifying U.S. citizen or resident parents, you can apply for this. Even you can include your children on this type of application. So that is also your children under 21 and unmarried on this type of application. So that is also a benefit, even if your children are outside of the United States. So another thing is you can get a work permit while this process is pending. So about 6 to 8 months after submitting the adjustment of status application, you would also be able to get a work permit. So I don't see any more questions, but I'm here every day. And that's all I have today. But what you can do is go to the link in my bio. If you want to get in touch with the office to schedule a consultation, go to the link in my bio where you can go to the website. You'll see the phone number. My phone number is also plastered all over my videos. You can also complete the contact form, provide your name, your information, and and then we will get in touch with you. A scheduling coordinator will get in touch with you to schedule a consultation. My friend was banned from the USA because of they accused her of working in the US. So in a case like that, it's important for her to get legal advice. Because yes, if she was accused of that and turned around or banned from the US, then there are ways to fix the situation, but it all depends on what exactly were in the allegations, what did they charge your friend with. So definitely tell your friend if she wants to see if there is a solution, she can go ahead and schedule a consultation. So thank you all for your questions. I will be back tomorrow, so go ahead and follow me. Go to the link in my bio if you want to learn more about me as a U.S. immigration attorney. If you want a green card, if you want status in the United States, you can follow me, and then as soon as I go live, you can ask your questions. Hi there, Deshane. It's nice to see you. And you're welcome, DJ Shadrock. You're welcome. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.